How do you ungate products? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it. Hi guys, my name's Simon. I'm a six-figure Amazon seller in the UK, and today we're going to be going over ungating. It's a topic that causes so many problems for people, so many issues, and it's honestly, guys, it's so easy, it's crazy. But you know, I've got a few years of experience under my belt, so maybe it seems easy to me, but it seems like a giant goal for some people who are getting into Amazon. Anyway, I'm going to walk you through it on this video, and I'll talk to you about it, and hopefully by the end of it, you'll be an ungating expert. So what is gating and ungating? Well, guys, when you start selling on Amazon, you're going to realize that some brands are gated. And this means essentially they're locked to sellers. It essentially means that you are not allowed to sell that brand on Amazon. And you basically have to get permission to sell that brand. Now, before we go on to actually getting permission, there are some items and some brands on Amazon that you can ungate and just do it very easily. And it's almost what we call an auto ungate. So you request access to sell that brand and it just immediately gives you access. This tends to happen a bit more once your seller account is a bit more mature and you've been selling for a little while and got a few sales under your belt. Then you have the ungates where you have to provide an invoice for 10 units. So this is one where you have to, you know, example might be Chanel, for example. And you want to sell Chanel perfume, you have to go on there and Amazon will ask you for 10 units as an invoice. So you need to provide the invoice and it will go off to Amazon. They'll either approve or reject it. And finally are what we call hard gated items. These are items that no one can sell on Amazon unless you've got specific permission from the manufacturer. So a good example of this is Apple. No one can really sell Apple products on Amazon unless you've got permission from Apple, which, no offense guys, you're not going to get. So don't even worry about it. So those are kind of three types of gating. I'm trying to understand what ungating is on Amazon. Now guys, it's a very important thing to note that when you're ungating your items, you need to actually provide a proper invoice. You cannot just take a picture of a receipt that you got from a store. You cannot just screenshot the order page. You need a proper invoice from the retailer. So if you're going to ungate an item with the items you've bought, you need to make sure that the retailer you bought it from gives you an invoice. And typically an invoice has on there the tax that was paid. It has the supplier information on there, such as the address. It has like an itemized row of what the items were, a proper description of what the items were purchased, and it has your business address on there as well. So those are kind of the requirements they're looking for to get ungated. The next very important thing to realize, guys, is that you don't need to ungate with the exact item that you want to sell. Think of it as you're ungating a brand and not an item. So for example, it might be that I'm trying to, I've got a perfume that's let's say a Hugo Boss perfume. No, you can't sell Hugo Boss, guys, but just an example. Let's say I've got a perfume for men over here that I want to ungate. Well, guys, remember it's the whole brand you're ungating. So if I have an invoice over here for 10 female perfumes from Hugo Boss, well, I can use those to ungate the men's one as well. It's not a problem. Or I can even use, if I want to be really convoluted, I could ungate it with 10 different invoices with 10 different items on there. Let's say one item per invoice. I could send that into Amazon. As long as the total equals 10, you are all good. So it doesn't have to be the exact item. It just has to be the item of that brand. And finally, a little caveat, something that Amazon are clamping down on now is ungating with Amazon to Amazon. So Amazon to Amazon is where you buy from Amazon and sell back on Amazon. And on some brands now, Amazon are requiring a minimum of 50 units if you're going to use an Amazon invoice. So it's not a big deal, guys, but just something to be aware of and just double check before you go deep and buy these products. And yes, guys, you can use Amazon invoices to ungate on Amazon. So, yeah, so really easy, guys, to ungate. It's not a problem at all. And what we're going to do now is we'll go ahead and actually show you how to do an ungate. But before we go ahead and do that, guys, we need to talk about my sponsor, Protector Pro. Now, Protector Pro is the best repricer on the market for Amazon FBA sellers. It's the repricer that I use, guys, and it makes me loads of extra money every month. Now, the reason I love Protector Pro, or PPP as we'll call it from now on, is because it's really easy to set up. It has amazing algorithmic AI rules that you can use. So no matter whether you're trying to maximize profit on an item or trying to clear it out really quickly, you just need to select the correct rule from the preset and pre-built rules, and it will just do its thing. It's really an amazing tool, guys. Very easy to use, very easy to set up. And guys, if you need any help, you can always reach out to me as well. I'm somewhat of an expert of it because I use it myself. But yeah, guys, if you want to sign up for Profitector Pro, there'll be a link in the description for that. You get a 14-day free trial, so it's a no-brainer, guys. Check that out, link in the description. So guys, what we have here is a brand that I have not ungated called Creed, okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to go through the process. It's not very difficult, but this is how you actually do it. So what you're going to need, guys, is you're going to need the ASIN. And remember, the ASIN is the unique number that Amazon assigns to every single product. And it pretty much always starts with B0, unless it's like a book or something. But 99% of products start with B0. You're going to need that to ungate. And actually, let's talk about how do you actually add the product. So what you need to do here is go to add products and then go and type in the ASIN, click submit, and then from there you're going to get this page. And on the right hand side, you're going to see the select condition and the apply to sell button. So what you need to do is click on the new. Now, if it only shows as used, guys, then it means you can't either sell new of that particular brand, or just means that your seller account isn't experienced enough, so you won't be able to sell it. So what we need to do from here is go to apply to sell, and you'll see that we get this selling application. You need approval to sell Creed. So we'll go ahead and request approval, and hopefully this page will load up. And here we've got two options. The first one is we need to provide at least one purchase invoice for the products from a manufacturer or distributor located in the European Economic Area, EEA. Or we can provide one letter from the brand owner authorizing you to sell their products. Well, we're not going to do the second one, we're going to do the first one. And here it tells you exactly what the requirements are. So it needs to be dated within 180 days, so you need to tick that. It needs to include your name and address matching the information on your sellering account. So that's essentially your business information. It also needs to include the name and address of the manufacturer or distributor. Cool, that's cool as well. It needs to show a combined purchase of at least 10 units. Now again, guys, remember this can be 10 units on one invoice, or it could be 10 invoices with 1 unit on each one. It doesn't have to be this exact Creed product. So I could literally give them 10 invoices for 10 other different Creed beauty products and get this ungated. So do remember that, guys. Now it says you can omit the pricing. I never bother with that. And then finally, they may verify your submitted documentation. Now, guys, it goes without saying, do not forge documents for Amazon. It's actually surprising people that ask me, do you? Of course, I don't forge documents. You should never forge documents on Amazon. That is a one-way street to getting your account banned for life. So never forge documents for ungating. Sometimes a glitch comes along where you can submit blank invoices. I never suggest you do that either. Guys, it's so easy to ungate brands. It's just ridiculously easy. So there's no need to take any chances, guys. It can be a little bit annoying when you're a new seller. I totally understand. I've been there myself. But don't take any chances with your Amazon accounts, guys. Just do this legit. If you're going to take Amazon seriously and you want to take full advantage of the opportunity to make loads of money, then do not mess this up, guys. So do not forge anything. So then what you need to do is go ahead and just drag or select the file of the invoice in there, and then finally just add, you can add the comments in as well. It's pretty pointless. And then finally, you just need to put your address in there as well. Now, guys, if you want, you can always provide pictures of the items as well. That's what I did to begin with. I'd put 10 of the items on my desk, take a picture, and just to make it easier for the person ungating. Now, one thing you need to realize, guys, as well, is that people that are checking your ungate application only do this in about 10 or 15 seconds. So sometimes you need to try it over and over again, especially if you're a newer seller. They can be a little bit more strict. But yeah, guys, as long as you're submitting the correct information and you're following exactly what they're saying when they're responding back, you should be okay. Generally, I'd say 90% of the time you can ungate it first time, and every now and then you run into issues. There's only been one time I've had a problem ungating, and that was with Lenovo, and it took me 7 or 8 attempts. But generally, guys, it's very simple. And I just kept submitting the same stuff over and over. So guys, if you have any problems, you can always reach out to me on Discord as well, at FBA Mogul. Join my Discord if you're not already in it, guys. But yeah, and it's basically then you submit, and once your seller account becomes more mature, these will sometimes get automatically accepted. Other times you have to wait 1, 2, 3 days for someone to actually review your application. So guys, what I've got here is another product here, and I'm hoping to show you an auto ungate. Obviously, it's very hard to me to actually find one that lets me auto ungate, but hopefully we'll see this here, and you'll see what it's like once your account is a little bit more mature, or if you're ungating a brand that's not so restrictive. Guys, it tends to be that the bigger brands, especially the beauty ones, like Chanel or Creed or Paco Rabanne or what they're called, they tend to be quite strict. So, let's try this one anyway and see. So let's press approval, and I hope it's just going to get auto accepted. And there you go, we can see here. That's what happens when you're ungating a particular brand that's not that restricted, or if you've got a good seller experience, good mature account, as you can see here. It's been approved on your performance history. So guys, hopefully that has demystified the ungating process for you. If you have any questions for that, please leave me a comment in the description. If you enjoyed that video, please leave me a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel with the algorithm, all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it, especially if this has helped you out. And finally, guys, don't forget, I've got my 100% free Amazon FBA Discord group community, which you can join. There'll be a link in the description for that as well. If you want to come and join, you can come and ask me questions. I can help you out. You can hang out with other sellers. It's a really nice community. People are reaching out and saying they're absolutely loving the community, which is really nice to see, actually, guys. I just wanted to build the best free Amazon FBA community out there so people can learn how to sell without having to pay any money to a coach or a course or anything like that, guys. So yeah, check that out, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next one.